Welcome to Journey Beyond the Abyss. My name is Poliguana, and I will be doing a playthrough of this game. Do not expect good quality, or who knows if I even will finish this within a short amount of time, but here goes nothing. Editing Polygon here. I may have somehow not recorded the game audio, so just be aware that will be fixed next episode. Thank you. Now that we're in the game, throughout this video we'll be completing Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of the quest book and progressing through those stages. Start with a little supplies. Just gonna take these boxes. We spawn next to this big platform here. Now what inspired me to play and record this playthrough is a YouTuber Breakfast Noodles. If you want to check out his videos, I'd highly suggest you to do those. It's what I'm following for the start. It's where I'm kind of like my guide. And the first thing we want to do here is go to this little platform here. Well actually, the only thing I should do is start the quest. I'm gonna be playing this on one life, so don't worry, there will be lots of ways to get lives, so it's not that big of an issue. And the first thing we gotta do here is go and grab some chests here. So these here are kind of like lucky blocks. They have a set loot pool, and you see this one, you need a pickaxe to break. And there's gonna be higher tiers that give you better loot, but we don't have a pickaxe right now, so we don't have to worry about that. First thing is, there's a crate here we can grab, get a bunch of stuff. There's a crate here we can grab. We also want all this wood. And as you notice, there's another box here we can grab. And we just gotta finish breaking all this wood. And by the way, the texture pack I'm using is called Unity 1.64. Anyways, one might notice I do have weight in the bottom middle of my screen. There's weight in the game, so if you carry too much things, you will move very slow. And just a heads up, do not leave the game while you're overweight, because then it'll have permanent slowness until you die. So you do not want to do that. And also, there is a sneaky little box over here. Just gotta do a little bit of parkour. There we go. Just mine directly into here. There's another box. And this basically gives you so much stuff that you can basically just skip all of these quest lines. And then if you notice, on this thing, there are iron blocks, lots of resources here that we can't really mine right now, but in the future we can grab it. This is a great source of early iron, and also these little ships here, the ones with these like lapis lazuli blue looking walls, inside of there's tons of resources, iron, gold, diamonds, everything, copper, everything you're gonna need. So now that we have all this stuff, we can go and complete the first quest. First quest. We do not need these wood coins. So we need a crude drying rack. We can easily make one of those. There we go. And we have all this already, kindling. So in this, we don't have inventory crafting yet. So if you shift, and then what you want to craft, so we want to craft kindling. So we shift and click, and that's how you craft. It's called primitive crafting, I believe. So now we got kindling, now we need tinder. This is pretty easy to make as well. There we go, and as you can see, there's a lot of lag, and now we've unlocked the next stage. This game progresses in stages, so as you progress in the stages, the enemies will become tougher, and the world will change, and whenever you unlock a new stage, it reloads the whole world, so there's a little bit of lag. Next is flint and stone rock. That's pretty easy. We're just gonna have to go into the water. And there is oxygen. There is ways to get more oxygen, so don't worry about that too much. And it is a little bit of Subnautica. Oh, so you want to watch your oxygen, make sure you don't drown. So now we need to make a crude hammer, crude axe. Those are pretty easy to make. Over here, you see, we can barely craft anything, but as you unlock more stages, you can craft more. Crude hammer. Then we need a crude axe. There we go. Next up, we need a chopping block. It's pretty easy to make. Bam. Now it does want you to get oak planks, but good for us. There's some oak planks right here we can grab. Something we do need though is a campfire. So we can get ashes. So how you do this, you need a kindling. You can craft twine like this. You need a kindling. And you need tinder, place for tinder, place a couple logs, and then you light it with your flint and tinder. Bam. And while that is going, we do need to grab something. So there's these small boats here, and what they have is pretty important. What they do have here, and a lot of, is planks. So here you are. And we're just waiting in the meantime for the campfire to smelt into ashes, so we can just grab these planks in the meantime. Because we actually want to grab these cauldrons as well. These will be important later, and I will tell you why. Just got to get the rest of these planks. We also probably want these slabs as well. We don't really need the stairs though. Also, what you've probably noticed by now is there is temperature. So if you go, say, underwater too long, or out in the cold, you will freeze, and this can kill you pretty quickly. So, be aware. You also have this flashlight that you spawn with, which gives you light underwater, which is pretty useful. As you see, we now have a ash. We can just break this. And there we go. We also need wood chips. This is pretty easy. But we might have to use our chopping block for once. How to use this? Just place it down, get some oak wood, plant it down, and then bam, we have a wood chip. Also, you don't want to mine things with your fists, because there are these infections in the game. And basically, because infection is bacteria, they can give you very negative side effects. But the worst part is that when you have it, at the end of it, all your items is a little glitch. So all your items will have like a different tag. So basically, none of them will stack. So if you had another flint, you couldn't stack with this one. So you just really don't want that because it's very painful for organizing stuff, and just no one wants that. In the meantime, we can also collect all this sand because we're going to want a lot of sugarcane later. As you can see, we got hypothermia, a little bit too cold. You can see warm enough, so I'm just going to finish collecting those resources I mined. And probably we don't want to waste more food, so we can probably just head up. Now we can continue doing those quests. As you see, we need a work table. This is pretty easy to craft. Log, plank, ash, and axe. Nope, there we go. And this is like a rudimentary crafting bench. Now we just need... We can also craft, we can also accept some of these quests. And you will notice that this gives us money. Money can be used to purchase things. And you can also exchange it for physical coins, and I'll show you why this is important later. So first thing we need is to make a little raft. Logs, and there we go. So we've gone to the next stage, and we finished chapter 1 already. Pretty fast. So as you can tell, it is sunrise now. So I'm gonna head back. And actually, first of all, let's see chapter 2. What chapter 2 says is go to negative these coordinates, negative 2079473, negative 6977. And this is very important. And basically, all you have to do is just go west and eventually get to these coordinates. And as you can see, we see a big wall. And this is how you know we're about to reach there. This mod pack also has dynamic weather, so there'll be tornadoes and hail and whatnot. So just be careful for that. And as you can see, we've reached a giant island. And what's special about this island is there's actually a village there. A village we can help build. You can give them resources so they expand their village, make it better, stronger. And it also has lots of trading to do. That's why you want those coins, and that's why we wanted those cauldrons as well. So, but first of all, I'm going to set up shop here. You can set it up closer to the village. I just select this because it's right next to the water and stuff. We do want though is to plant sugarcane. In this mod pack, the sugarcane doesn't exactly have to be right next to the water. I'm not sure how close it has to be. I'm just gonna plant it over here. Just make a whole lot. This sugarcane we're gonna need for pulp. We're gonna need a lot of it. So you have to make this from a soaking malt. We'll get into that later, but we're gonna need a lot of sugarcane. Over here, this one's pretty useful early game. You can buy drying racks. I'm actually gonna buy these in a second. Of the early game stuff. I would not suggest buying really anything here, except probably the drying racks. And this is how you get hearts. 64 of this is 64 of the silver ones, which is 64 of the bronze ones. So we don't have nearly enough of this. But what you can do is go to your shop. Actually, let me just claim all first. So just claim all the rewards from what we got. Then I'm gonna exchange this for the coins. So 128. We have 2 stacks. And then we can buy. I'm just gonna buy 4 drying racks for now. And this guy will give us our first quest. He really tells you about what to do. Basically, what he's telling us to do is this little outpost inside of the forest, past the village, and that is going to we need to progress at one point, but it's going to have a lot of dangerous mobs in there, so we don't really want to worry about that right now. Oh, and I do forgot. If you just stand here, then see how it says in the bottom left, I'll be right back, on it. This is how you just stand here, having the traders will come, and you can just sell them supplies and whatnot. Also, from the quest, we have gotten 2 hearts, so we can use those. What I meant to do is slash lives enable. Here, slash lives. Wait, 7 lives left. What? I swear I did 1 life. I'm gonna be playing this on 1 life. Did I not do 1 life? Well, you can use these hearts to get a new life. So I meant to do 1 life. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually kill myself until I have 6 lives. So now that we have the correct lives we should have, It's time to get back our stuff. And with these guys, what we want, first of all, is a lot of cobbles. There's a lot of stone. This would be important. As well, it's a great way to get wood, cobblestone, and a bunch of other resources. So what we're going to do is sell our cauldrons here, and now we've got a lot of money. We can buy some stone. It's going to be important later. We do have a lot of weight. The rest of the stuff back in here. And what I do need, and our first goal is to do a lot of trading with villagers. This will give us a lot of reputation, and that's very important. And a decent, although not the fastest way, but you know, this is just the way I'm going to do it, is to get a lot of wheat. Then we can just sell this wheat we've got over here. We might have to wait a little bit for villagers to come. We made some decent money. And then this, right here are tripes. This is a very good food source, but we cannot get there right now. So, we're just going to have to rely on apples. This is a little loner. He's not really connected to the village, but he sells a lot of sheep wool. And basically, you can just buy this. I'm pretty sure you can sell it to a village for profit. We sell our wool, and we might have just broke even, maybe got a little bit of money. So maybe that strategy works, but I don't really want to waste my time doing it. And the good thing about keeping buying and selling and buying and selling, you get a lot of reputation. It's gonna be pretty important. We could buy a lot of cobblestone as well. Head to sleep. We don't want mobs spawning, so always be careful of that. And here we can just do set home. Don't ask about all the times I failed to do it, but basically now we just have a we can basically just whenever we want to, we can just do /home to TP back. This is forced with no cheats. So what to do? Slash emotes creative would obviously not work. So this is all without cheats, you know, just doing a normal run of this mod pack. Get a stone, just do /home, and bam. We don't have to worry about being very overweight. And now we can go and progress along the chapters. Oh, and one thing I forgot, we have to head back to this barn. And we're gonna need some building blocks. And in this barn, if we pillar up a little bit, we can get some important stuff. Over here, there's a lot of hay. There's straw bales. This is gonna be very important. And also some higher tier lucky blocks. I'm just gonna grab these, get some money from them. And also, there should be a little hidden loot box in here. Just gonna have some more money. Little reward boxes. We're gonna go do that. Got some twine. Got some other stuff. And over here in this house, there's another NPC who sells some stuff similar to what the other NPC sells. However, if we go and steal her life savings, and there is this one last NPC, and what we can do is buy bojos. This is very good for lighting fires, so just keep that in mind. It's way better than the stupid flint and tinder. What we need to do in this quest, the final quest, is to get a flint and steel. And there's going to be a lot of stuff we need to get there, but it's a lot less confusing than it may seem. So we're going to need a lot of andesite and granite. And a good way of getting granite, which we will need, is just dig down right here. It shouldn't take too long until we get to the stone layer. And it's going to be a lot of granite. There we go. Wait, no, it's gravel. I mean, if we dig a little bit more. Also, you want to be careful, because if it's too dark, then a Gru can spawn, and he will one-tap you, and you do not want that. So we're just going to mine this while in the light, and grab it, and then get out. This goes to 8, so every 2 chunks is 1 granite, which would be enough for now. And then now, if we go a little bit northwest of the village, we'll see this ginormous volcano, and it's completely made out of andesite, which is very good, because that's what we needed. We're going to do /home, and just get quickly back. Actually, we probably you can get fibers super easily just by mining all these grass here. And what we should have done a while ago. Actually, we do not need to probably use plant fibers at all. What we need to do is grab this bone meal. See these industrial hemp seeds here? We can plant these industrial hemp seeds where we broke off our wheat. And this is very important because this is how we're going to get lots of that dried fiber, lots of twine, lots of good stuff. Just plant this. No, ignore that. And then using this dried plant fiber, you can use your hammer and then make big cones. We do need cobblestone, so we can easily make that with some of the stones we've gone. Also gonna get rid of some of the stuff we do not need for now. So just 9 stone rocks can get us 1 cobble. Not the greatest way to get it. Oh, I need a hammer. It's not the greatest way, but you know, we're just doing it for the quest. So actually, probably just use a sand. It's probably a whole lot better. Also, some of that andesite and granite. And then we can finish off some stone. We fill it with these hay bales we got earlier. Place some wood. And light them with our bow drill. And also it's turning night, so we gotta run back to the village before it turns nighttime and mobs start. And as you can tell, all this is pretty much done. We just gotta wait for the andesite and granite to smelt. And now we have masonry bricks. It's gonna be very important. I'm gonna need as many as possible. Of course, it isn't a 100% chance to happen. There's a 44% chance for the recipe to fail. So that's why we got a whole lot less bricks than what we used. Here, we could grab the andesite and stone and granite that we got. And what we need to make is a granite anvil. We also do need a pile of wood chips, so we can get those pretty easily. Just using our chopping block. And we might need to make another axe. As you can tell, we got a little wood chips. And then we can craft a little granite anvil. 3 bricks. Oh, wood chips. Andesite. And granite. We do get ash when things fail to craft. When we do this pit burning, we do get a bunch of ash. Something we probably should craft sooner than later is a stone work table. This basically allows us to craft multiple things at a time instead of only, see if I want to put more granite, I can only hold one there, but this will allow me to craft multiple. Just a lot more efficient. First, we're going to need pulp. And how do we get this pulp? It's pretty simple. We're going to need a soaking pot. It's actually very cheap. What we can do probably would be better. We can make a little bucket with masonry bricks and then clay, which we can make from these lumps we got from mining sand. We got a bucket. And using this, we can just grab our sugar canes have yet to grow. So now it's going to be time to get a lot of sugar cane. And then we can just use a soaking pot. And bam, this will take some time, but it'll get us pulp, which we'll need a lot of. And in the meantime, we can do some trading with villagers so we get more reputation. And I'll show you why this is so important pretty soon. Oh, okay. So do not take from villagers' furnaces. That is, I did not realize you lost reputation. I do want to test if these people buy beef. So I might have to, just don't die to the cows. It's nothing worse than losing a hardcore ward to a cow. I'm kind of getting body though. There we go. We got some beef and leather. Leather is pretty important in the future, and I'm wondering if we can sell this just for some more money. And as you can see, he will buy raw beef. He's gonna get some more money that way. And they also sell tripes. This is expensive, but it's a great food source. You can eat it multiple times and it gives you around, I think it's 5 hunger bars, so it's very strong. So now what we got, oh, I forgot, we cannot use it yet. So, never mind, let's progress until we get that then. But that is how you get a really good food source. So now we just gotta progress in the quest book. So we can, come on, and see this is growing. So we can just plant more sugarcane. So we have as much as possible. And also, there is this knight here in this church. Pretty sure that's what this is. And basically, he has this quest line, and he just wants you to go meet this guy who lives by the village in the island. And this is very important because he's going to give us something very, very useful and will help this process a lot. I'm pretty sure you just need friend of the village reputation. I'm not entirely sure. Once you have enough reputation, you can get the quest. At a certain time, like around this time, people are heading to the church to pray. That's what they do in this colony. And then we can just go talk with the knight, and he will give us a quest. We just head over here. He wants us to talk with the alchemist, and we can just talk. Accept his quest. We have to talk with the other guy again. Now the knight, he should be around here somewhere. Here he is. Talk from the quest. Oh, never mind. We just had to talk to this guy again. Here we go. And basically, he gives us his tools. These tools, we unfortunately cannot use. I may have forgotten about that until we hit Stage Merchant. So we just gotta hit the Stage Merchant, and then we're basically set. So we need stone rods. That's the next quest. That's pretty simple. Just grab some of these bricks, grab them, and then hammer them down. Pickaxe them down. Bam. Now we've got 12. Watch out, this hammering does take up a lot of food. So just be aware. Next, we need a soaking pot. We actually already made this, so we're a little bit ahead. Got that. Got the pulp. Nope. Now we need compacting bin. We already have the planks. We got the pulp. We got the stone. We should have everything we need, at least. There we go. We can create dirt faster this way. We need a shovel for that. Somebody saves us two dirt. It crafts it instead of normally, which is 10 dirt clumps, it only takes 8. So it's not really a whole lot of a difference. So I'm just gonna not worry about that for now. We need paper. We get this by drawing. We can just try some of this pulp here. We should always be crafting some more pulp. You know, craft a log pile. And what you can do with these log piles, hopefully this is far enough. We get that dirt we just made. Light this. Then immediately place this. And then what it does is it smelts that wood pile. Sorry, log pile, I believe it's called. There we go. Log pile. It smelts it. This is pavement burning, so then it gives us 10 charcoal. A failure, whenever it fails, it even gives us ash. It gives us ash and charcoal flakes. But now, it is time to raid the dungeon. This is what we need to get the merchant phase. And what we need for that is to hire our very own personal bodyguards. And here's a guard already. Hello, Mr. Guard. We can march into the fortress and take them all down. But we do not need that right now. See, as you can see, there's mobs here, and they get absolutely destroyed by the guards. Doing this by ourselves would be practically impossible at our current stage, and we need this to progress, so it's a necessity. Alright, some more skeletons. Oh, this one. This one's a powerful one. Shoots with scores, but even him. As you can tell, they've already killed some of these skeletons. Oh, here's one. Nice. This is actually... Oh, iron coins. I'll take... Ow! Some good damage. I guess I will take the coins, because I'm going to be picking up no matter what. As you can tell, my guys are kind of going on a rampage. We also got these blood vials. I'm not really sure how they work, so I'm just going to toss them. And we're getting so much coins, we're going to get so much money. And what you see here are these end crystals, and these give us books. Books is how you unlock new mods. And this is a village guide. So what this is, this unlocks us merchant. And as you can tell, based on the lag, we've just unlocked a new mod. And now, we can use this, and this. Very good. And these are the better lucky blocks that we can get to get some coins. Gears are going to be needed later on, so that's always important. And now, we continue on. Come on, guards. There's another mod here. Survivor 101. This is what we need for the quest. And then there's one up inside here. There's also a super butterfly boss. I'm not sure what its deal is, but I guess it's just there to defend it. I don't know. I don't know why there's a butterfly in it. We can take this, get some more coins, get some more. What is this? Oh, raw diamonds. You can't do anything with that right now, but I guess eventually it'll be nice. Another book. And nope. Butterfly's dead. And last but not least, we have to go into the underground part over here. You're gonna fall in there. You're not coming out. Okay, this should work. They all try to get inside. These guys are really resistant to falling in that hole. There we go. Get him, Mumbo. Get him! You got this! Let's go, Dan TDM. Kill him! And they do spikes spawn here randomly. So like that, that's just a lot of damage, so just be careful of those. As you can tell, we now can loot final boxes. And finally, you just TP home. We've got all of these mods to unlock. Can you get those mods unlocked? Now we gotta find this NPC. It's not you. Here he is. This guy. Kinda just walks around. It's the lead developer mod. Thank you. And wait, no, I just the right one. There we go. So we got diamond, gold, bronze, iron, and silver coins. Just go get a bunch of gold. I mean silver. So now we got our food. And look, we're pretty, we're like starving out here. Bam. And look how many uses that. And it's very cheap as well, so that's gonna be our food for a long time. Okay, these guys are not very annoying, but that's okay. So now we have to keep progressing on this quest line. So it's time to do this. So because I accidentally threw out my oak seeds, I had my acorn. I had to go mine seaweed until I got one. So that's what I did. Site masonry bricks and the masonry brick block, and bam! Now we have a stone work table. But now it is time to get those diamonds that we so desperately needed. And we're also gonna buy a bed. All we need, steel bed. As I said earlier, on the map, these boats here, and there's also one here, we're gonna have lots of blocks of resources. Diamonds, gold, iron, etc. And this is very, very important. There's also lots of lucky blocks in here. So, guards, do your thing. Thank you. As you can see, the mobs are getting dispatched very, very fast. Oh, I forgot. We gotta watch out for the grooves. So, if we mine out light here, we're safe. Just do that as we go. Hey, some boots. Just let our guards do their work. Now that there's light, mobs shouldn't spawn. Midday at least. Wait, Aqua Infinity. That's pretty useful. And we can take some of this iron. Thank you. As well as these diamonds. Now, unfortunately, we can't just craft this into iron. No, that'd be too easy. What we can do is place it down on a little granite anvil, as long with a pickaxe, and then we get iron ingots. We can sell this to the villagers for money, and so we can start building and upgrading the village. We can also use diamonds with a hammer to get diamonds. Now this should be the last crude hammer we craft for some time, because bam bam. Wait. Now that we have a pulp, as long as one twine, and bam, diamond hammer. So this has 4,500 durability compared to the hammers. I actually have no clue how much durability it has. 32. So let's just say we're going to be using this for a long, long time. And that's a good thing. And look at all the money. We also can make, or buy, I should say, denier pouch. So now it doesn't have to clog up our inventory, which is very nice. And now we're going to start constructing and building up this village. Wait, did I craft the wrong one? Oh no. I may have may have crafted the wrong one. I meant to craft was a stone kiln. So it looks like I'm gonna have a lot more work to do now. Finally, we now have the stone kiln. And we're gonna need this brick mold. It's gonna be a very important thing to get. We're gonna need lots and lots of sugarcane. So it's time to get digging. And now that we have this brick mold, we can craft these refractory bricks at a fraction of the cost. When this one brick would have costed all of this, now only costs one of this, which is just three of this. So much cheaper. Smelt these up, and then once these are done smelting, we can finally craft ourselves a flint and steel. Finally, refractory bricks are done, and the normal bricks are done. And ta-da! Oh, I may have forgotten to do the quest in exact order it wanted me to. So I may have died for this time, but it's a good thing I have 2 lives left. I finally got the stuff needed. And finally, craft myself some refractory clay. And I finally have beaten chapter 2. Bunch of good loot. Now that we finally have a flint and steel, we actually got an extra life as well. The next goal would be beat chapter 3 and start chapter 4. At least get a mode 2 done. And I'll see you next video, whenever that may be. Have a lovely day.